We need more custodies. Well, I mean, people know that one of the things I'm well known for is being a heavy advocate and investor in human genetic modification. So, I mean, I will, the moment I have the technology to do that, make my next generation of custodies. My kids will be using this tech. We're 100% about this. You're going to have Space Marines coming out of my line very soon, and hopefully not too many cat girls.
But what if the cat girls is optimal for a girl though?
If I'm gonna be honest,
what if like you wanted them like you know I mean they'd be more like agile and shit, right? So they'd be like really good spies.
I don't know. The Jews can do that. They do the spying. We'll work with them. That's what I want. You know, a future where
you think you're gonna have people taking like the genes from like a all of the different races and taking their best fucking traits and putting it into one person.
I mean, I'll be doing that. A lot of people are like, when I talk to reporters who think I'm like a racist, I'm like, I'll take the fast running genes. I'll take the high jumping genes. I'll take all the genes, right? Like, if something's better than what I have, I'm gonna take it as long as it mixes with my culture's ideals.
Standard eugenics. Nature is eugenics.
Antithesis of eugenics. Eugenics is the belief that not that people should have the right to choose their genes, but the right of other people to choose who genetically has the right to exist and who doesn't. So if you say genetically modified humans don't have the right to exist, that's a eugenicist perspective. You are saying based on this genetic criteria, this category of human has no right to exist. And it's quite mortifying if you consider what that means 100 years from now, because your descendants, if you have them, are going to know gene-modified people, and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm sorry, my ancestors were super eugenicists of people like you and thought that people like you shouldn't have the right to exist because you're pretty, like, bro-y, like, we're friends, right? Like, people don't realize when they say this type of person shouldn't have the right to exist, they're talking about an actual human being in the future.
I guess that, you know, what is like the actual definition of that? Because
you can look it up on Wikipedia. The eugenics is the belief that some genetic sets are better than other genetic sets, and it's the goal of society or governments to coerce those genetic sets.
A part of it?
No, to ban genetic modification is strictly a eugenic idea. It fits the original goal of eugenics, which is genetic purity, to maintain some form of like ancestral pure humanity. And if you don't believe me, when we were mad at the Nazis, we weren't mad at them for trying to make people healthier. We were mad at them for controlling who could have kids and how. And if you don't believe that, if you're like, no American in the 1950s wanted scientists to augment the human condition to make people faster or stronger, I'm like, okay, what was the very avatar in American pop culture of anti-Nazi propaganda? Oh, it was Captain America. How was Captain America made? American scientists using science to make better American citizens. That wasn't eugenics. That is what fights eugenics.
It's saying here that the definition, the core concept of eugenics, is two different approaches. Positive eugenics, encouraging individuals deemed superior or possessing desirable traits to reproduce. Negative eugenics is discouraging or preventing reproduction of those deemed inferior.
Yeah, and I'm not doing either of those. But a person who says that genetically modified people are inferior, they are doing that, which is a form of negative eugenics.
Interesting.
Well, no, I mean, basically, every sane person who isn't a fucking buffoon for the sake of being a buffoon knows that, or believes that humans have genes. And broadly, it would be better if genes that lead to certain outcomes are more represented in your children than other genes, right? Like, or even more so in future human populations. This isn't a eugenicist or anti-eugenicist position. It's a sane people versus people who actively want humanity to become worse over time, right? Because right now, we know from like the way selection is happening right now, people with low IQ are having significantly more children than people with high IQ. And we see these things as being really highly correlated. We also see other negative traits. People who are obese are having significantly more children than people who aren't obese. Like basically anyone who's like, it's a good thing if the average human becomes significantly less intelligent in the future, significantly, that person's just intentionally being a fucking dumbass. Okay?
Yeah.
Every sane person wants humanity to continue to become better. The question is how is that achieved? And the question is, if you're a eugenicist or not a eugenicist, instead of just not an idiot, is do you want to achieve that through coercion or do you want to achieve that through individual choice? If you want to achieve it through individual choice, then you're anti-eugenics. If you want to achieve it through coercion, then you're a eugenicist.
I see. Okay, so it depends on the method of which you achieve, of which you are attempting to achieve the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. Okay. Because I was like,
and you read the definition, like, I'm not making stuff up here or playing word games. Like,
yeah.
Definitionally, if you say genetically modified people have bad genes and I don't want them to exist, you're a eugenicist.
Yeah. It just seems like a better idea rather than. Sorry, I'm trying to rationalize this. And my brain is kind of cooked because I
want people like them in the future. Basically, they want humanity to completely and permanently stagnate. Which I'm not about. I'm not about humanity stagnating forever. I want, and keep in mind when you talk about a lot of these things, like the defects that we're worried about today, these are things that we will shortly, likely within our children's lifetimes or within our lifetimes, be able to remove, right? Like you will be able to, like if your kid's going to die at 2 of cancer, you'll be able to remove that. Are you still against that for some like performative position? Preventing a child from dying at like 2 years old, right? Like that's what gets me when you really think about the human cost of not engaging with this type of technology.
Yeah, because I was like thinking, right? Like if you could solve a lot of problems that. Okay, so for let me ask, how I know we talked about this before, but I guess I'm a little bit confused as to like the position. Like, do you hold the belief that people's nature is genetic, as in like
hugely
the things
and anybody who has a lot of kids would tell you that.
Okay, so if that's the case, then you would want specific natures to be amplified, correct? Yeah. Okay. So wouldn't
my children, because that's my choice. Somebody said, isn't this eugenics? Isn't gene editing eugenics? No, because it's still my choice. In the same way, it's not eugenics when I choose a more attractive partner, even though that's me choosing genes for the next generation. It's my choice. It becomes eugenics when it becomes coercive by an outside force.
As in like coercive, as in like the ultimate choice is not in your hands. Coercive.
Yeah, the ultimate choice is not in your hands.
Okay.
So, for example, and there's some eugenic policies that everyone agrees on. A good example of a eugenic policy, just if you're like, I think all eugenics is evil, do you believe it should be illegal for a brother and sister to marry and have kids? Well, if you do, you're a eugenicist in that respect. That is a eugenic policy. It is explicitly made to prevent negative genetic outcomes because everybody agrees that negative genetic outcomes are bad.
And I mean, like I guess to go into it a little bit more, it seems pretty obvious to me that like since we can agree that nature is fairly genetic, that we would want to minimize certain natures that have bad impact on humanity, right? So like,
right. Yeah, I would do that in my own children if I could. There's aspects of myself. I mean, I tell you, the first thing I'd edit out of myself is my addiction pathways. Mm-hmm. A version of Malcolm without addiction pathways would be a strictly better version of Malcolm. And the reason why it's so good that we get to live our lives and then choose what we want to pass on to the next generation, like the reason why that's so moral, is it's not another person looking at me and saying, Malcolm, your addiction is a bad thing, or you do addictive things sometimes, or you're tempted by it. It's me saying a version of me without this is just strictly better. No, addiction wouldn't get rid of ambition. I don't think my ambition comes from addiction. I would heighten my ambition pathways likely.
The funny thing is
I don't know if that could be higher.
The funny thing is I almost feel like this is, the societal harmony that people want so bad. I feel like this would
Yeah.
be a good way to achieve that in a way, right? Like, is if you were able to set it up so that you eliminated the natures from the pool that that would cause societal problems, and then by doing that, you can take groups that normally, like, you'd have to go to war with, right? Like, actually, and set it up so that the natures that come from them don't have those traits.
Well, keep in mind, you can also achieve a society where you have multiple different homeostatic iterations of humanity that get together really well. Like, if you are doing intergenerational gene editing, and you take the values of my culture, for example, you're likely going to end up with a population that is very aggressive, very large, intelligent and ambitious, but probably not dissimilar to what people say like custodies look like, right? Now, suppose you take a population that, when we were joking about Jews and sneak stats and stuff like that, that might spec into more agility builds, stealth builds, stuff like that. Now you have two populations with different world perspectives, different abilities, but that might work together incredibly well, right? To
really
to
heading
fill
into
different niches within society.
It's gonna be like straight up actual Warhammer. Like, I'm thinking about it, right? Like, we're gonna have a world in which like the different races are actually drastically different.
Yes, that is the future of humanity. That's an inevitable future of humanity. How long that takes is going to be it's assumed the moment we're on multiple planets and have a spacefaring species, we're going to have speciation, and we're likely going to need genetic editing to live on, for example, incredibly gravity dense planets, to spend all our lives in zero G, hit by random photons occasionally, to, like, we will eventually be differentiated species. The question is, how do we set something up? This is why we set up our Sons of Man collective. It's not just for AI, but for how things work when we are a different. But you see, somebody's like tank build superior, but this is the thing. Our culture may say tank build superior, their culture may say other build superior, and a tank build can still use an agility build for some tasks that a tank build is not good at.
Let me explain this in a better way. Would you rather have a party, if you're doing PvP in World of Warcraft, would you rather have 5 rangers, or would you rather have a healer, a tank, a rogue, a mage, and an archer?
Yeah. By the way, somebody here knows one of my favorite books here. They say Man After Man was great. What if? Man After Man was a hugely important book in building my world perspective. I read it as a little kid. It costs like $600 to buy today, but you can get it in PDF for free. It's a great book.
What was it called?
It's about the evolution of humanity after humanity, told in like a nature format of like how humanity evolves and diverges if we left the Earth with fairly. Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, some humans evolve into like tick-like things that live on other humans, and you know what? You should just Google it right now. Just Google it and look at images, and you'll be like, "Wait, what?
What is it called again?
Man After Man.
Man After Man.
But he said All Tomorrows was written by the same guy, but Man After Man was not reprinted because it was considered too controversial.
Dude, look at that freaking what's this manatee fucking person?
Yeah, it's not ridiculous. You look at this, you're like, what?
Dude, the one with the fucking bat ears on top and the fangs. Dude, what the fuck?
Come on. You can see why this is fun.
Dude, the mushroom one is fucking wild. What the fuck? Dude, this one right here with the robot, it's like connected to a robot, and it's in like a crane pod. Like, what is this?
Okay, let's pull up one and read it, okay?
Okay.
So we'll get one of these, which is a good one, but it has some writing. Do they not have the writing next to it? Let's see, like full page or something.
So wait, hold on. I have a question. How did you get this as a kid?
It was in my school's library.
Oh man.
Terrifyingly.
Wait, Man After Man food creature. Oh god, it just looks like a like a
The
ball. Like
food creature I always thought was the fucking coolest. So in the book, at the end of the book, the humans who left Earth come back to Earth, greatly evolved and nothing looking like humans anymore. And the humans who stayed on Earth and evolved to fill various ecological niches on Earth and eventually became like other animals are found by these humans who went into space and changed so much over their time in space that they don't even recognize Earth as their homeworld. And they take some of the remaining descendants of humans on the planet and genetically engineer them to be giant, like instead of cows or something like that, giant meat ball things that are constantly growing, and then they have mechanical harvesters that like climb on them and harvest from them when they're alive, so they just grow meat forever.
they're just like a weaponized cancer.
Yeah, like a weaponized cancerous blob that's being harvested forever.
Man,
Very brutalistic, which I always love in a book. I'm always like, whoa, that is so much crazier than anything I've ever seen.